Beans, beans are good for the heart. The more you eat them, the more you... No. Somebody just knocked on my door. I don't think that's allowed. Okay, let's make beans. I have a lot of time and a lot of beans, and let's make some beans. First things first, you got to start with dry beans. So what you're going to want to do with your dried beans is soak them overnight in cool water, and then in the morning you'll notice that they're huge and plump and beautiful, but they're not cooked yet. So you're going to take them and you're going to rinse them and drain them, and then you're going to have beans. So the rinsed, drained, soaked beans go in a very large pot, like the largest pot you have, and then we're just going to throw in things to make them tasty. So I've got an onion cut in half, doesn't need to be peeled, a couple stalks of celery, a couple garlic cloves, 2 bay leaves, a bunch of parsley, and some lemon zest, which is just peeled from a clean lemon. All right, and then we're gonna add salt. Some people don't add salt until the very end. I'm gonna add it now. I'm gonna go for a tablespoon of kosher salt, which is that bigger, flakier salt. But if you only have table salt, then just use half this much because it's much stronger. And then we're gonna do some olive oil. Like kind of a lot of olive oil because beans can be boring, and this makes it better. So a 1/4 cup, bunch of glugs. Now I'm going to take this pot over to the sink and fill it with a ton of water. And then we turn that on and let it come up to a boil, and then we'll simmer it. So we got our beans and our aromatics and our salt and our olive oil. And once it comes up to the boil, you'll see it'll start to throw off a weird kind of foam, and we'll just skim that off the top and discard it. It's just impurities and some proteins coming off the beans. And it's fine if you leave it in there, but it's much prettier if you get rid of it. Okay, so you can see this is starting to come up to a boil. Little bubbles here and all that foam that comes up to the top. So what we'll do is we'll just skim that right off with a spoon. Just like that. Okay, so now that my skimming is mostly done, I'm going to turn the heat way down because I don't need a furious boil. I just need the barest bare simmer. So all the way as low as it can go. I'm looking for like a few bubbles here and there. Okay, it's been about 2.5 hours, and let's check on the beans. You want to test the beans. They should be tender. You want to test a few of them, and then you can cool them down, freeze them, store them in the fridge, put them in soups, pretty much whatever you want. You can get rid of all the veg in here. It's kind of given all it has, but the beans and the broth, that's where it's at. Happy beaning.